Hi everyone, Shauna here. Hey, I just wanted to give you a little introduction to who I am. My name is Shauna Hawks, and I'm actually from America originally, and I've lived in Sydney, Australia on the northern beaches for the last 10 years, which seems crazy to even say. I love Australia. I consider it home now, and even though my accent hasn't really gone away, which you can probably tell, I love the beaches. I love to surf. I just love the lifestyle here. So that's sort of, me in the nutshell in terms of where I came from and where I'm located. I've got a family. I've got a beautiful husband, and I've got two gorgeous children. I've got a son named Noah who's 7, and I've got a daughter named Hope who is 4. I probably won't be having any more kids because it has really tested my patience level. Hence the reason why I'm going to tell you about yoga. I've taught yoga pretty much for as long as I've been here. I remember the first time going to a yoga class was at the studio I ended up doing my training at and actually teaching. It's called Power Living, and it's one of the most well-known ones in Australia. And when I first moved here, there was just one studio, and it was located in Neutral Bay. And I remember going there. It had carpeted floors, and the smell was just you would die. And the heat was like, it was like 32 degrees. It was like, and I about died in the class. I was like, oh my gosh. And I come from like a pretty athletic background, so I was just like, what is this thing? Anyways, I fell in love with it, to say the least. Like, I was like, I've got to come back to it, even though it was so full on, and I was like, I've just got to try this again. So I kept coming back, and then I decided to do the teacher training, and then I ended up becoming a teacher and teaching there. So when I started, it was one studio with about 7 or so teachers, and now we must have 7 or 8 studios, and we have a studio in New Zealand as well as all around Australia, like in Perth and Melbourne, and yeah, it's huge now. I wouldn't even know how many teachers or staff actually work. So I was very fortunate that I got in when I did, when I was so new to the knowledge of yoga and to understanding it, and I've been able to sort of grow. So I love that, because I feel like yoga is so impactful and for so many different reasons. It's great for your body. I love the physical aspect, but I think more than that, I love the headspace, and I need it for my head. It's taught me so much about my patterns and my behaviors and my thoughts, and yeah, it's just created so much freedom for me. And so I think that's why I teach now, is I want people to be able to experience that, to realize that you have choices in the way that you want to live your life, that you don't have to be bound to the past, and you don't have to constantly be, future tripping and worrying about what's going to happen. Like, you can just really enjoy the moment, and you can learn so much just by, kind of listening to the conversation that you tell yourself all the time. So that's the gist of it. Like, that's why I love yoga. That's why I'm still teaching. I teach at a couple of studios. I teach at Power Living at the studio in Manly and in Neutral Bay, and I also teach at a studio called Lux, which is located in Brookvale, and I love teaching at all of them for different reasons, and they each bring out something different in the people that come to the studios. And also, I guess I am always learning stuff about myself, just like teacher, student, teacher is really no difference. As much as you learn in a class, I learn from you, and I'm learning about myself. So yeah, I just love that process. A few years ago, I decided to start running yoga retreats because I felt like, there's just definitely like a need to get away for really just a weekend, and to be somewhere that was close to home, but let it be like really nice and luxury. I found in my experience of going to retreats in the past, I love them. I love the experience, but I'm just shattered when I come home. Like, I need to sleep for like a couple days just to recover from, the intensity of what I've learned and what I've experienced in the retreat. So I wanted to create a retreat where people could just truly, honestly, just chill out, completely relax, get rejuvenated, do some yoga, do some meditation, eat amazing, nourishing food, you know, have a massage therapist on site that can give massages, have, you know, the beach that's literally underneath the deck, you know, within 3 minutes, and you're walking and your feet are in the your toes are in the sand, and you know you're getting, and then you're coming back to the house and you're taking a hot shower. I mean, it's just like all those elements. And I wanted to create it for people at any level. Like, I've had teachers come to my retreat, so they're very experienced, and I've had people who have no idea what a downward facing dog is, you know, like they've never ever practiced yoga, and they still have an amazing time. And that's the thing, is that it's so accessible for everyone, and it's a really small group. You know, I only bring 12 students max, and I love it that way because I want to get to know you personally. Like, I want our whole group to get to know each other. Like, I want it to be like you're sitting around the dinner table with friends. I don't want it to be like you're in this massive cafeteria yelling across to Joe that you want to say hi, you know, like you're literally sitting across the table chatting about whatever. Like, I love that stuff. It just lights me up. Seriously, I get so excited, if you can't tell by the pace I start talking when I start talking about it. So, anyways, that's what I do. I teach yoga, and I run yoga retreats, and then I also run something called an EFT business, and EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And the gist of it is I help people clear their subconscious blocks that hold them back from living a life that they love. So, I mean, one of the things that holds us back in my own experience from living a life we love is just a belief system. You know, it's something that we developed a long time ago, and we still kind of run it on a co-pilot on a subconscious basis. And so my job is basically to spend time with you and work out what programs you're sort of running, and then helping you realize that you don't have to run those programs anymore, that, you know, you have the freedom to live the life that you want. And the emotional freedom technique, it's actually called that. It's a tapping thing. So you know, tap on meridian points to help, you know, move energy. So similar to acupuncture in the sense that you're just moving energy, and meridian lines are just like a line of energy. So you've got them moving all through your body, and they usually coordinate with like an organ. So, I mean, that sounds a little bit complicated, and I'll definitely do more videos to explain that if you enjoy the nitty-gritties of that. But the general idea that I want you to take away about what EFT is it's like a negative emotion is like a kink in a hose, you know? So if you imagine, you know, feeling stuck, you've got this massive kink in the hose, and then I want you to imagine that when we do work together, we're just letting go of the kink, and we're just letting the water flow. So it's like everything that it exists there. The water has always been there, but the kink has just been kind of like holding back the flow of water. So yeah, that's what I do, and I work on Skype 1-to-1. So yeah, I think that's the gist of it. That's what I do, and that's a little bit about me. And look, I hope I can get to know you, and please send me a message, send me an email, or just let me know a little bit about you. I love spending time with people. That really lights me up, and I love learning in general. So if I can learn something about you or how you work, it just absolutely fires me up. So anyways, that's enough chatting. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.